Hi guys, in this video, I'm going to explain to you how the plurality method works. Now, the plurality method, so it is a method wherein the choice with the most first preference votes would be the winner. So in this method, ties are possible and sometimes it is mistakenly called the majority method or majority rules. Now let's take this example for you to understand how this method works. For example, your friends are trying to decide which destination to visit this year, Cebu, Davao, or Palawan, and their votes are shown below. So this is the table showing the votes of your friends. So for example, for Anne, her first choice preference is Cebu. So she wants to visit Cebu this year. Her second choice is Palawan. So that is her second choice or second preference. And her third choice is Davao. Now for Brad, his first choice is also Cebu, but his second choice is Davao and his third choice is Palawan. Now for Chi, her first choice is Palawan, her second choice is Davao, and her third choice is Cebu. So and so on and so forth. So these are the respective first choice, second choice, and third choice of your friends. So they are presented in the table. Now, this is the table we just had recently. So this one, so this is the table and we will color them according to the similarity of their preferences. So for example, the color of Brad, Ed, and Jade is orange because they have the same preferences. So their first choice is Cebu, same as Ed and Jade. So their second choice is Davao. So for Brad, Ed, and Jade. And their third choice is Palawan. So we have here in for Brad, Ed, and Jade. Now, we also grouped Chi's friends and Hale's preferences as the colored yellow. So we have here, we color this one yellow. So PDC, PDC, and PDC. So their first choice is Palawan, their second choice is Davao, and their third choice is Cebu. Now for the green one, so we have Don, Greg, and Ian. So their first choice is Davao, D. Their second choice is Cebu, C. And their third choice is Palawan, so P. And we only have one colored red. So because Anne is the only one who voted Cebu as her first choice, Palawan as her second choice, and Davao as her third choice. So this is, we colored the table so that you will be able to recognize their groups easily. Now we will use a preference schedule, this one, in order to tabulate the number of preferences in each combination. So for example, CPD, so this is the preference wherein Cebu is the first choice, Palawan is the second choice, and Davao is the third choice. Now, who among your friends preferred this combination? So you only have one, so Anne. So Anne is the only one who preferred Cebu as the first choice, Palawan as the second choice, and Davao as the third choice. Now, who among your friends preferred Cebu as their first choice, Davao as their second choice, and Palawan as their third choice? So we have Brad, Ed, and Jade. So that is 3. Now for this one, Palawan as their first choice, Davao as their second choice, and Cebu as their third choice. So we have 3 again. So Chi, Fren, and Hale. So we have 3. And for the last one, so who among your friends preferred Davao as their first choice, Cebu as their second choice, and Palawan as their third choice? So we have Don, Greg, and Ian. So we also have 3. Now if you will add this 1, 3, 3, 3, so this will be equal to 10, which is the number of your friends who also participated in the voting. Now, take note that in the plurality method, we only care about the first choice options. So we disregard their other choices, their second choice, and their third choice. So we only have to look at their first choice. Now, question, how many of your friends voted Cebu as their first choice? Now, we will look at the preference table, our schedule. So as what you can see, there are 2 groups of your friends who voted Cebu as their first choice. We have here this one, C and C. So C represents Cebu. So we will just add them. So 1 and 3. So therefore, Cebu has 4 first choice votes. Now how about Davao? So in Davao, so we will look at this one. So we have 3. So Davao received 3 first choice votes. Now how about Palawan? So we also have this one, 3. So therefore, Cebu is the winner using the plurality method because Cebu garnered the highest number of votes. Okay? So that's it. That's how the plurality method works. Now, what have you observed with the number of votes for Cebu? So as what you have observed, or as what you can see, or known, as what you have known, so Cebu won with 4 out of 10 votes. So this means that it gained the 40% of the votes. So it is a plurality of the votes, but not a majority. So when you talk about majority, so the number of votes should be over 50%. So when talk about plurality, so it could be not a majority, so it could only mean that the votes or the particular choice received the highest number of votes among the others. Okay? So now let's take this second example for you to understand deeply the plurality method. So for example, this one, so the preference schedule given in example 2 for the 50 students who were asked to rank their preferences of 5 movie genres is shown below. So we have here action, horror, fantasy, comedy, and romance. And these are the corresponding number of students who preferred, or number of students with their preference or with their rankings. So for example, this group of students, so their first choice is horror, their second choice is fantasy, their third choice is romance, and their fourth choice is comedy, and lastly, their fifth choice is action. So this is the combination, the the respective rankings of this group of students, of the 17 students, and so on and so forth. Now, we will try to look at the first place votes in each genre in order to know how many of the students voted action, horror, fantasy, comedy, and romance respectively. Now in action, we will try to look in this row. So as what you can see, there is no first rank here. So there is no number 1 in this column. So therefore, in action, it received 0 first place vote. Now in horror, so we only have we have one ranking here. So we will look at the bottom to see if how many students voted horror as their first place vote. So we have 17. Now for fantasy, so we will try to look at this row. So we still have one rank. So therefore, we will look at the bottom. So we have 8 first place votes. Now for comedy, so we have 20 because we have 2 ones in the ranking. So we have 11 and 9. So that's why it's 20. For romance, so we also have 2 rank 1. So you'll just add their corresponding number of students. So that's 3 and 2. So that's 5. Now, comedy received 20 first place votes. So therefore, comedy would win using the plurality method of voting. So that's how the plurality method works. Now question, which movie genre would win second using the plurality method? Now, when we talk about the second place vote, so we will again consider the rankings, the second rankings. So in action, so we have here 2. So we will try to look at the bottom. So therefore, its second place votes is 3. In horror, so we'll try to look if there is a rank 2 here. So none. So therefore, its second place votes is 0. In fantasy, so we have 2 rank 2s. So we have here 17 and 9. So 17 plus 9, that's 26. For comedy, so we have rank 2 in this row. So we will try to look at the bottom. So that's 2. So for romance, so we have 2 rank 2. So we have this one, 11, and we also have this one, so 8. So therefore, we have 19 second place votes for romance. So therefore, fantasy would win the second place using the plurality method of voting because it received 26 second place votes. So just remember that when you do the plurality method, so in order for you to determine the winner of the method, so you will just have to consider the first place vote. So based on this problem, so our winner for this problem is comedy because it received 20 first place votes. However, if your teacher or a person tries to ask you if which genre received the second place vote, so he will not base the number of votes on the first place vote. So for example, in this one, so supposedly horror received the second highest number of first place votes. However, we will not be considering that. So we will be tallying again, or we will be computing again the number of the voters who voted in each genre using its second choice or preference. So that's why we have to recompute or compute again their particular second place votes. So I hope that you understand the concept of how the plurality method works. So that's all for now. Thank you and more power.